Under the warm yet unforgiving glare of the Texas afternoon sun, the schoolyard buzzed with laughter, sneakers scuffing the concrete, and the high-pitched chatter of teenagers desperate to impress one another, but in the far corner, away from the basketball courts and the cafeteria doors, 17-year-old Amara Johnson stood still, clutching her white cane like a lifeline. Her eyes, clouded by the milky haze of blindness she had lived with since birth, gave nothing away. To most, she looked vulnerable, an easy target. And to the three girls approaching her with smirks curling their lips, she looked like entertainment. "Hey, Amara," one of them sneered, her voice dripping with mock sweetness. "Need help? Finding your way to the loser club?" Laughter rippled through the small crowd forming, the sound sharp as glass. Amara tilted her head slightly, the corner of her mouth twitching in what could have been mistaken for confusion, but inside, she was measuring footsteps, distances, the way the air shifted when someone moved. She didn't flinch when a hand slapped the cane from her grasp, sending it clattering to the ground. "Oops," another girl giggled. "Guess you're even more helpless now," the onlookers laughed louder. Amara bent slowly to retrieve her cane, her fingers brushing the warm concrete, but her heartbeat stayed steady, her breath slow and controlled. They didn't know, not one of them, that Amara had been training in martial arts since she was 6 years old, her sensei teaching her to fight not with sight, but with the rhythm of sound, the feel of the floor beneath her, the shift of a breath before a punch came. Her father, a decorated Marine who had lost a leg in service, had insisted on it. "The world won't pity you, baby girl. You make it respect you." For 11 years, she had practiced kata after kata, sparred against sighted fighters, learned to read the smallest cues, the tightening of a muscle, the weight shifting in a stance, the faintest change in breathing. She had earned her black belt at 15, one of the youngest in the state to do so, and she had never once had to use it outside the dojo. Until today. "Come on, give it back," Amara said calmly, standing upright, cane in hand again, tapping it lightly against the ground as if mapping her next step. One of the bullies stepped closer, the sour tang of her cheap perfume filling the air between them. "What if I don't?" she taunted. "What are you going to do about it?" Around them, the crowd leaned in. Someone's phone camera clicked on, the energy shifted. This wasn't just teasing anymore, it was performance. And in performances, Amara knew, people got careless. The bully reached out, perhaps to shove her again, perhaps to yank the cane away once more, but Amara moved first. Her hand shot out, grasping the girl's wrist with precision born of muscle memory, twisting it in a controlled motion that made the girl yelp. In a single fluid sequence, Amara sidestepped, planted her foot, and swept the bully's legs out. From under her, the girl hit the ground hard, the laughter of her friends choking off in shock. "What the—" another bully started, but Amara pivoted toward her voice, her stance low and ready. The crowd had gone silent now, save for the rapid clicking of a phone recording. "I don't want to hurt you," Amara said evenly, her voice carrying farther than she intended. "But if you touch me again, I will defend myself." The second girl hesitated, her sneakers squeaking faintly on the asphalt as she shifted her weight back. That was all Amara needed. She stepped in, blocked a half-hearted shove with her forearm, and guided the girl's momentum past her, sending her stumbling but unhurt. The third bully, quieter than the others, took a step back, muttered something under her breath, and melted into the crowd. Amara straightened, the heat of the sun on her face, her cane steady in her hand again. "Show's over," she said, and the words carried a weight that settled into the stunned silence. By the time a teacher appeared, the bullies were gone, and the crowd had scattered like leaves in the wind, whispers trailing in their wake. "She's blind. How did she do that?" "She's a black belt or something, I swear." The video hit social media before the last bell rang, racking up thousands of views overnight. Strangers flooded the comments with shock, admiration, and anger toward the bullies. Messages poured into the school, into Amara's inbox, into her family's phone. But Amara didn't bask in the attention. She went home, put her bag down, and went straight to the garage where her father waited, holding 2 sets of training mitts. "Heard you had a day," he said with a knowing smile. She nodded, feeling the sweat of adrenaline still clinging to her skin. I didn't want to, she said quietly, but they pushed. Her father's smile softened. You didn't fight because you were angry. You fought because you had to. That's what I taught you. Over the next week, the story spread beyond their small Texas town. Local news picked it up, then national outlets. Amara was invited to speak on a morning show, where she sat straight-backed in the chair, cane by her side, and told the hosts, "Disability doesn't mean weakness. Sometimes it means you've had to work twice as hard, be twice as strong." The Bullies, confronted with the viral footage and the outrage it sparked, issued public apologies, awkward, stumbling words that didn't erase the hurt but at least acknowledged it. Amara accepted them because forgiveness, her father always said, was also a form of strength. But she didn't stop there. With the help of her dojo and a few community sponsors, she started a self-defense program for visually impaired teens. It's not about fighting, she told her first class, her voice steady over the sound of shuffling feet on the mats. It's about knowing you can protect yourself if you need to and carrying yourself like the world can't break you. Months later, when she walked through the same schoolyard where she had once been cornered, no one dared mock her. Some offered shy nods, others warm hellos. The respect her father spoke of, it was there now, carved into every glance she received. But Amara knew it hadn't come from the fight alone. It had come from the years of unseen work, the discipline. No one applauded the quiet confidence that needed no audience. And to anyone watching her story online, to anyone who saw her stand tall without sight, but with unshakable strength, she had this to say: don't underestimate someone because of what you think they can't do. And if you're the one being underestimated, don't waste time proving them wrong, prove yourself right. The world will catch up. Call to action. If Amara's story moved you, share it with someone who needs to be reminded that strength comes in many forms. Stand up against bullying, speak out for those who can't, and never let someone else's perception define your worth. Respect is earned through courage. Be brave enough to show yours. Asterisk.